Rise of the Tomb Raider has an ESRB rating of M for mature, for blood and gore, intense violence, and strong language.
Hey, we're heading into a war zone now. We better be sure about this.
We're close. There should be an oasis in the canyon just ahead.
You're wasting your time. There's nothing out here.
Just keep driving, please.
It's your money.
Something isn't right.
Oh, that's just local militia.
You told someone, didn't you?
They paid better than you. Shit! They weren't supposed to shoot at us!
Get us out of here!
Shit! No, no, no!
So finally we get Rise of the Tomb Raider. After a very long wait and controversial decision to make it an Xbox One exclusive, this game has received a lot of hype and attention that I wondered if it was all even worth it. Well, after playing the game and checking what it has to offer, I can honestly tell you guys that yes, it's a very good game. Now you guys know that I'm a big fan of the series and you are probably expecting me to only praise the game, but I won't. I'll be as unbiased as possible, so here we go. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a sequel to the mega hit reboot of the 2013 release, Tomb Raider. Since it's a reboot, the idea of crafting a game where the player needs to use instincts and skills in order to survive extreme situations and environments, Lara Croft had it a bit easy in that department in her first adventure. But in this sequel, all gloves are off and it's time to put everything she learned to use. The gameplay has evolved to more of what I like, which is stealth gameplay. The scenarios of getting into a full-on assault because the game forced you to has been left up more to the player's preference. Some, but not all scenarios, of course. Now, if you want to sneak around and take out the enemy quietly and unnoticed, now you can. Lara's tactics have also evolved. She can now swim underwater and climb trees, as well as use 2 mountain picks instead of 1, and she can also use both rope and the picks to use as a grappling hook when needed in certain areas. These new features have made Lara a formidable opponent against those elite Trinity soldiers. This also has opened up Lara's arsenal of stealth attacks from top to bottom, although if you wish to get into a gunfight and take out the soldiers full-on commando, do this only if you have enough medkits and don't mind dying so much. Otherwise, I suggest you do it quietly from the shadows. It makes things a lot easier, trust me. If you play the reboot, the controls feel very similar and easy. Having this knowledge from the previous game gives you an advantage of how to move Lara, but that is where the basics end and the new begins. Now Lara can create things on the fly, which kind of makes me wonder why she couldn't do this in the first game. Everything has more of a purpose now and real use. For instance, we're on the first game where once you unlocked an ability through scavenging and hunting, you were pretty much done and didn't have to hunt anymore. The whole hunting thing was pretty much over as soon as it began early on in the game. In Rise, it doesn't unlock an ability and you are not done. Now, you must keep hunting to craft things that Lara will need throughout her adventure. So it's essential that you must hunt, scavenge, and pick to keep raising Lara's equipment and inventory or rations in order for her to survive. There are more abilities in the 3 skill trees that Lara can unlock from: Hunter, Brawler, and Survivor. Each has over 15 abilities to unlock and each weapon has 3 or more choices of models to choose from. Of course, they all have their own perks and attachments to unlock. You have to be choosy on what you want because the items you need to build or unlock are scarce unless you do a lot of farming, and trust me, I beat the game with the bare minimum and I had a very difficult time doing it. Not complaining because the challenge was very welcoming, but there were moments I wanted to rage quit. Now I want to point out that my experience is based on my playing this game on Survivor mode, which some advantages were turned off for me for the sake of having a harder difficulty, so I may mention things that others may not have experienced. One great thing to mention is that there is a world to explore in Rise. The first reboot was very linear, but not this one. You are free to roam as you wish and explore. Sure, the entire map is broken up into regions, but there are some places that are gigantic, and you can also fast travel between makeshift fire camps. And check this out. The world map looks rather small, but believe me when I tell you, there is a lot of ground to cover, miles upon miles. But look at this. This is a huge part of the map not being used, so I'm wondering if this will be filled up with DLC content. That would be great. I hope we get a lot more landscapes to explore and not just linear paths. The game looks beautiful. The different locales will make your jaw drop on how amazing everything looks. Something out of Spielberg's Indiana Jones series. The settings and imagination, the landscapes and tombs are breathtaking. It just unleashes the imagination of wouldn't it be awesome just to really visit these places? Rise of the Tomb Raider does not disappoint in their interiors or exteriors. Man, this game is beautiful. Look at the locations. They're just awesome. Just wow. The tombs are no longer just optional. There are plenty of tombs with real rewards that you can use to add to Lara's abilities. The collectibles have been scaled back to just items to find without any real usage, so the tombs have more of an incentive to raid. Some tombs have booby traps and puzzles for some heavy-duty thinking. They are very well designed, and I think even the hardcore will have a difficult time trying to solve them. But that is what we want, right? So outside the campaign, the game does offer many challenges and activities to do while exploring. However, I do wish there were more side quests, as I came to find out there are less than 10 side quests overall. Everything in the game must be collected, crafted, assembled, hunted, discovered, studied, killed, or created. This adds to plenty of things to do and complete.
What are you doing here?
I saw the gutter press was attacking you again. I thought you could use some company.
No lies. Were you followed?
Followed? Of course not. What's going on?
I think I found the tomb.
Oh, you can't be serious.
The myth of the prophet is real. Dad was right.
Lara, your father was unwell.
No, he was close to a great discovery, tangible evidence of the immortal soul.
The story is probably the weakest part for me, at least because so little is explained on the character's background. For instance, Constantine has stigmata on his hands. It never gets explained why. Anna is Lara's could-have-been stepmother. She apparently is dying of some sort of disease, but she can't figure out a way to work out with Lara to maybe help her get the divine source so that she may live longer. After all, she does have Lara's trust. I don't understand. And the divine source itself, where did it come from? Who made it? We know what it does, but who made it? I was almost thinking that it was from alien technology, like in ancient aliens. Like I said, these are just questions that I didn't get answers to, but the truth is out there.
He took his own life. I thought I'd come to terms with it, but
something else happened.
then I saw something that I thought was impossible. It changed everything.
Of course, Camilla Luddington brings Lara to life with her amazing voice, acting, and the rest of the cast do an incredible job as well. The motion captures are fun to watch, even when Lara is in peril. The QuickTime events have been reduced to slow motion interactions without notifications what to press, which I'm not sure if it's because I played on survivor mode or it's the way in every difficulty. Either way, I really like that. It was left up to me which way to react to save Lara. I'm happy that the game trusts me to make that choice. Now, as you all know, I'm a big fan of the multiplayer from the reboot, and I was sad to find out that they didn't have a PvP multiplayer in the Rise of the Tomb Raider. They completely scrapped it and decided to use all of their resources in creating a great single-player experience, with replayable chapters, something the reboot was missing. Now, there is no online feature, but there are other features you can take advantage of. For instance, you can, as I mentioned before, replay chapters in Expedition mode. In Expedition mode, you have 4 different themes: regular, timed, and chapter elite, which allows you to play the campaign chapters with all of your equipment already unlocked. And Remnant Resistance, which is a series of mini-games with their own challenges and objectives, with some relatively high replayability, and you can use cards to add advantages or disadvantages, configurations to add multipliers to your overall gameplay score for some high competition with your friends. Now that is it. Some cards are made for a challenging effect, others are just for amusement. Now I want to talk about these cards more. They are introducing this card system into the single player campaign where some cards give you challenging effects or just plain fun goofy effects like large big heads and exploding chickens. You get these cards by earning credits while playing the game, or you can straight out buy them from Microsoft's marketplace, which I wouldn't suggest. For one thing, the credits can be easily earned while playing the game, and the cards are random. They do have different names for different packs because the more real money or credits you are willing to pay, the better chances of you receiving uncommon or rare cards you might get. I'm not sure if spending real money is really worth it. You never know what you'll get, or even if the effects are even worth it. There were some bugs in the game in my first game experience that I'm sure will be patched up later. Nothing game breaking, but an inconvenience for sure. On one, I couldn't complete a side quest, the one called The Unlucky Ones. I had the option to press the X button in order to interact with one of the characters to finish the quest, but every time I pressed it, nothing happened. I think my file might have gotten corrupted. On my second playthrough, it worked just fine, but it prevented me from getting 100% on my first gameplay. The other was her survivor instincts indicator, saying items I was searching for were literally buried in the sky. What the hell? See? Aliens! They are watching us. Overall, the experience playing the game was magnificent. If you like the first Tomb Raider reboot, you are going to love Rise of the Tomb Raider. They took all the things that we liked and added to them. I easily clocked in over 20 plus hours of gameplay and exploration, and I still haven't gone 100% in the game. In many ways, the gameplay has been improved and magnified for a much better Tomb Raiding experience. It's something the old classic fans will like and the new will come to love. With the overall content of the game and much more deadlier tombs to explore, side missions, which to be honest there aren't that many but still worth mention, and other challenges to be done throughout the campaign, this is what Tomb Raider fans have come to expect, plus more in their experience. The game delivers what it promises, an epic adventure, danger, action, and puzzle solving. However, with no multiplayer component and just a single player game, I feel like it's missing more, and they could have done more just to justify a full price. During my second playthrough, I was breezing through the campaign like nobody's business, and I realized how fast and quickly you can finish the game. It's the first playthrough that it's worth it, and it barely manages to make the full price range. On that thread, it's worth the $60, because on that, it delivers a beautiful and exciting gameplay, and it deserves a silver coin for its great experience. You can't go wrong with this full purchase. You guys are going to have a great time. Thank you for giving me your time in reviewing Rise of the Tomb Raider. I plan on giving you more content from the game and challenges and side quests and other stuff that involve the game. So if you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe and share. For more reviews and everything related gaming, sub and like. My name is Rox, and I'll see you guys next time.
Not a chance.